What's going on, guys? So I'm back from seeing Venom, and let's get right into it. So I guess I'll start off with the main character. The main character is Eddie Brock. Obviously, he's Venom. He's at the beginning of the movie. He's engaged with his girlfriend, with the lead female. Her name is Annie. They're engaged. Everything seems fine and everything. He's a reporter, like a typical comic book guy, typical comic book character guy. He's like a reporter with his like a bit of an outsider head, kind of in the clouds. Um, yeah. So one of his jobs was to basically he has a job to interview who the main antagonist. His name's Carlton Drake. And basically what Carlton Drake does is he's like a lead. He runs like a science division that discovered the symbiotes, which is what Venom is, which are basically like these parasitic type entities. And so on his Eddie Brock, that's how he ends up coming into contact with the symbiote. He's on some type of like heist type mission to gather dirt on Carlton. And what happens is the symbiotes end up running loose. So when that happens, Eddie is himself. He's pretty much infected by one of them himself. And so throughout the like half of the movie, throughout the like probably like the second half, I don't want to say second half, probably probably leading up to halfway of the film, we deal with he's hearing like the voices which are Venom. It's kind of like a second voice in his head. It's really cool because the monologue between the two characters are like are awesome. Pretty much any scene with Venom in it was awesome. That's probably the best part about the movie. Venom was great. He was awesome. His voice was awesome. His demeanor was awesome. Honestly, his voice was amazing. Like whenever he talked, you could feel the rumble of his voice through the theater, and it was awesome. So that was good. Anything Venom related was awesome. Whenever Venom was there, it was on and popping. So so basically what the plot is, so turns out that Carlton, he himself was actually infected with one of the symbiotes. And that symbiote just happened to be the leader of the symbiote army. And basically his whole plan, I guess, was to bring all these symbiotes from whatever planet, whatever world they're from, back on Earth to try and end Earth, to leech on to all of its to all of humanity, and rule the world as we know it. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's all about. Like I said, I mean, it wasn't a terrible movie. There's definitely much worse movies. I feel like the main thing that, for me, which kind of threw me off about it, was that it had. I feel like the pacing. I feel like the pacing was kind of off. Like for like the first maybe like I'll say the first 20 minutes of the movie, I was getting to know Eddie Brock, and seeing his relationship with Annie. That was amazing. That was good. But then like once the whole Venom thing comes, he comes in contact with the symbiote, and his personality changes, and they end up breaking up. And throughout around that time, the movie the pacing, it kind of got really slow to a point where I was like, and I work overnight, so I hadn't really had much sleep, so I hadn't fell asleep, and then all of a sudden I hear, that's when everything, the second half of the movie is like right there. So Venom has been unleashed. He's been shown, he's been outed, and all those scenes were great. So I just felt like, like I said, I just felt like the pacing was kind of off. It started, the pacing was just kind of off, and sometimes it felt like they were here 1 minute, and then now the next they're like here, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically what it was. So I'm gonna have to give it 2.5 out of 5 snake eggs, because I'm a Python. Shout out to my boy Brandon, my boy Michael, and all of the Python gang. And yeah, that's my first review. Thank you.